as I mentioned, I made a film for PBS Frontline. It's called Second Opinion, about this phenomenon. Here's what happens. In this film, I have this bum shoulder that I wrecked when I was in the U.S. Navy, and so I couldn't play golf again. I couldn't play this time. I couldn't try to break that 89, that historic day. In this movie, I go to my doctor, Dr. Don Furlick, who's an orthopedic surgeon in Denver. He's a great orthopedic surgeon. He fixed this arm of mine, and look, I've got 99% movement. He's just a terrific surgeon. And I go to him and say, look, Doc, this is all I can do. My shoulder hurts. I'd really like to have a golf swing again. And, you know, he's an American orthopedic surgeon. You know what they're like. They're confident, they're aggressive, they're fighter pilot kind of guys, you know. And Furlick says, he's a terrific doctor, he says, yeah, I can fix that. Yeah, you'll have a golf swing again. You certainly won't have any pain. We're going to do a lot. Yeah, there's no problem. Totally confident. Well, what are you going to do? He says, just a minute. And he goes out of the room. He comes back in with a little red metal box, size of a lunchbox or so. He opens it up, and he says, here's your new shoulder. You know, it's made out of titanium and Teflon. He's going to cut out the shoulder that God gave me, which doesn't work that well anymore, and put in a man-made shoulder. This is a very high-tech, aggressive American solution to this problem. And then I say to him, he let us film all this. I say to him, well, gee, what could go wrong? And he says, well, you know, it's major surgery. There are always problems with major surgery. Let's see, disease, paralysis, death, you know, little things like that. At which point I look at the camera and say, well, maybe I should get a second opinion. And then we go to Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu at the southern tip of India, where the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Sea meet. And that's the Mayo Clinic of Ayurvedic Medicine, which is this 3,000-year-old medical treatment. And when we first got to the clinic, as an American, it looked very reassuring. It looks like a hospital. It's clean, you know, and neat and everything. The doctors and nurses are walking around in white coats. They have stethoscopes around their neck. The first thing they did for me when I arrived at the Chikitsalayam, that means clinic, I arrived at the Chikitsalayam, the first thing I did was x-ray my shoulder. Whoa, this feels pretty Western. I'm right at home here. I thought this was going to be fine. So the next day, they tell me before I can start my treatment, I've got to go to the Hindu temple, which is on the campus of the clinic, and I've got to go pay obeisance. I put this bindi on my head, you know, this red rouge on my forehead, and I have to pay obeisance to the Hindu god of healing, Dhanvantari. And the way you do this is you walk around his shrine 3 times clockwise, has to be clockwise, and say a prayer. And if you don't do that, your treatment isn't going to work. And then the next day, into my room walks Mrs. Rama in this pink sari, you know, and Mrs. Rama told me that she's from the clinic's department of Yajnapathy. Yajnapathy, yeah, that's a new one to me. Well, Yajnapathy means astronomy. And her job was to see if the stars were aligned properly for me to be healed. That's part of the treatment there. It's covered by Indian insurance. They believe in this. And I was quite skeptical, as you might imagine. I was kind of making fun of her. And she says to me, very calmly, very, you know, common sense, she said, look, any fool can see that it would be a mistake to start medical treatment if the stars in heaven were aligned against you. What do you say to that? Anyway, my feeling was I didn't have to worry about Mrs. Rama because we had brought a cameraman, a sound man, a light man, 2 producers, and me all the way to India to make this film. And sure enough, the next day she came in and said the timing was propitious for me to be healed. At which time we launched into my treatment, which was really nice. It was really nice. Basically, what you do in Ayurvedic medicine, it's Indian massage. You lie on this dark teakwood table, and they pour hot oils on you, and 6 guys work on your whole body. It was marvelous. We did it every day for a month. And, you know, I've always told my kids what a tough job it is to be a foreign correspondent, but they've never believed me. And